ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another great episode of History Repeating. I am your host, Joe Murray, and we have a really great show for you tonight. What we're going to be doing is we have our top 10 list, of course, the top 10 reasons you don't want to be in Queen Isabella's court. We're going to have Don't Impressive Mean Much, a new fun game that intern Chris is going to have to play and hopefully avoid the Bucket of Doom. We're also going to have a new segment called Children in the Crib, where we look at Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand's beautiful Spanish palace, okay? So we will have a lot of fun today, and if you haven't guessed already, our topic is going to be, drum roll please, blah, 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 blah. It is going to be medieval Spain with a big focus on Ferdinand and Isabella. So, in order to understand how we got to Ferdinand and Isabella, you have to understand what happened to Spain during medieval times. Now, around 400 AD, Europe was in trouble. Why was Europe in trouble? Okay, let's scratch our heads and let's think for a second. We've talked about this many, many times. Europe was no longer united. Why wasn't it united? Right. It was the fall of Rome. That's right. The Roman Empire had fallen. And when the Roman Empire had fallen, we had lost the strong central government that kept all the people of Europe together. What happens is we get a bunch of decentralized smaller kingdoms that are going to form around common languages, common beliefs, common customs. So we have a whole bunch of smaller kingdoms that are now peppered throughout all of Europe, right? And you know the old saying, united we stand, divided we... And that is what was happening to Europe at some point. Because between 400 and 700 AD, Europe was struggling. It was struggling to get its mojo back. It needed help. And it was struggling because it could not agree. You had a bunch of kingdoms fighting each other, and when you fight each other, you open the door up for an enemy to come in and get you. And that is what happens. Because at the same time, Europe is kind of floundering. If you go over to the Middle East, something amazing has happened. We have a new religion that has been basically discovered and spread through the Prophet Muhammad, right? And that is Islam. So Islam takes off like crazy. It goes everywhere. It spreads throughout Southeast Asia, or Southwest Asia. It goes to North Africa, and it starts going into the old Byzantine Empire, right? And they're largely doing that by trade. Trade is one of the biggest mechanisms that was used to spread Islam. But they also did it by force. And you don't think that the new Arab conquerors in North Africa are going to just look over the Mediterranean and let Europe kind of exist, right? No, they want to expand. So those Moors are going to jump over the Mediterranean, and they are going to invade the Iberian Peninsula, home to Spain and Portugal, modern-day Spain and Portugal. And would Spain and Portugal be able to fight at this time? Survey says the answer is no. No, they weren't, because they were too busy fighting each other. So the Moors come in, and they just gobble up the entire Iberian Peninsula in less than a decade, right? From 710 to 718, the Moors, who are the Arab or the Muslim conquerors from North Africa, they come over, they take over the whole Iberian Peninsula. Now let's flash back to geography for a second. What are the mountain chains that are going? The mountain chain that is going to separate Spain from France? It is the Pyrenees Mountains. So the Moorish troops, they are locked and loaded. They are getting ready to cross the Pyrenees. And if they can get into France and basically conquer what Frankish resistance they had, it's all over, right? The Moors can go throughout Europe, spread Islam, and basically spread Arab culture. And honestly, the odds look to be in the Moors' favor. They got more money, they got more organization, and they got better weapons, they got more organized troops. They got it all. If you're looking at it, it's kind of like the Patriots playing the Browns, okay? The Moors should have this. But there's one thing that they were not expecting. There is this one fella, this Frankish fella, who is really motivated to stop this, because he knows that if the Moors win, Christianity in Europe would no longer be the dominant religion. So he gets all the might and all his troops together, and he meets the Moors at the Battle of Tours. And it's at this battle that you're introduced to Charles the Hammer, and he brings the hammer down. He stops the Moors dead in their tracks. It looks something like this. The rest of Western Europe does not have the ability to go in and kick them out, okay? So the Moors are going to stay on the Iberian Peninsula for about 700 years, right? From 710 to 1492, they're on the Iberian Peninsula. Now, does that mean the people in Spain and Portugal, that they're just kind of saying, oh, well, it's a whole new world, so we're just going to accept it? Heck no! They're fighting. So after a 700-year struggle, right, the Moors are now kicked out of Europe, and they're back over onto North Africa. And that is basically overseeing the end of what we call Reconquista, and that is the effort to remove the Moors from the Iberian Peninsula in order to make the Iberian Peninsula a more Christian-centric kingdom. That is called Reconquista. And the end of Reconquista is overseen by none other than Isabel and Ferdinand. Now, when these two marry, they are the ultimate power couple. No, not that power couple. These were the European power couple, right? These guys were strong, they were fierce, and they were determined, okay? Especially Isabella, right? Isabella has been known for many different things. One of her most important things is she said yes to Christopher Columbus. Remember, Chris Columbus had been trying to get anyone to give him money so he could find his new route to India. Of course, that new route went going by sea. And Isabel had not been convinced, right? She turns him down 2 times, and it looks something like...
Queen Isabella.
If you can prove the world is round, Chris, I'll give you my jewels.
Bugs Bunny. Who's discovered America?
Well, not exactly like that. But she does turn him down 3 times, and on the 3rd time, she finally says, sure, Chris, go do it. I guess I have some pocket change to spare. Go on your fool's errand. But unbeknownst to her, Chris Columbus was right. And he opens up to Spain all the gold and glory of the New World, which makes Spain the richest country in Europe, if not the world. And that emboldens Spain, because Isabella and Ferdinand now know that their country is back in their hands where they believed it belonged. They are going to be strict defenders of the Catholic Church because they believed that the Pope was the true leader of the church and they wanted to defend him. And they want to make sure that all of Spain remains Catholic. Now, in the back of their heads, they realize and they remember that it wasn't too long ago that their beloved Spain was controlled by foreign occupiers, the Moors. So Isabel wants to make sure that never ever happens again. And this is why it's so important for you to understand. What happens to us in the past will impact us in the future. Isabel was so worried about another Moorish invasion or another invasion from a foreign people, she wasn't going to have it. So she starts what's called the Inquisition. The Inquisition is a court, for lack of a better term, that was meant to try and hear cases against people who were spreading heresy. Does anyone remember what heresy is? It is false teachings against the church, because throughout all of Spain, you were not able to get rid of the people who were not Catholic. They stayed. Some of them said they converted, but they really didn't. That's known as an impure conversion. And some of them pretended to convert so they could change the church. Now, Isabel did her best. Initially, when she first takes over, she doesn't let the Muslims and the Jews worship. And eventually she ends up banning all of Islam. And she wants everyone to convert to the Catholic faith or get out of Spain. But even with all those measures, she knew she couldn't get rid of everyone. So they start the Inquisition, because she believed if you went out basically spreading false teachings, you were not only weakening Spain, you were weakening the church, and that could not stand. So what is the Inquisition? Well, it made it look something like this.
For now begins the Inquisition.
The Inquisition.
Let's begin.
The Inquisition.
Look out, Sam.
We have a mission.
Well, not really. But the Inquisition was, if you were charged with heresy, you'd go up before the court. They would determine whether or not you are actually guilty of the charge of heresy, whether it's saying something wrong about the church or what have you. And if you were guilty, you either had to confess your sins and repent, at which point you could go on your way. Don't be a repeat offender. They could put you in jail, they could take your property, or yes, they could kill you. And that is why Spain was able to grow from first a bunch of smaller kingdoms that were conquered by foreign occupiers who ended up being the most powerful nation in Europe for quite some time, the most powerful and the wealthiest nation of Europe. They were able to do that because they united behind a common ruler, most likely Ferdinand and Isabella. They united behind a common religion and a common culture. And that enabled them to build the wealth and the power that they needed. And there was a little bit of luck there as well, because let's be honest, if Isabel didn't say yes to Chris Columbus, Spain would not have been that wealthy. And another European country probably would have gotten there first, and that would have been a whole new ballgame. So that is it. That is our little walk into the history, the short 700 history of Spain, from the Moors invading to the end of Reconquista. And we're going to talk more about this as we continue on our show. Next up is going to be our top 10 list. We'll be right back.
Chocolate is scrumptious, very crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch. That's why I love Nestle Crunch.
Welcome back to History Repeating. I'm your host, Joe Murray, and it is now time for the History Repeating Top 10 List. Okay, tonight's History Repeating Top 10 List is the top 10 reasons that you would not want to be in Queen Isabella's royal court. All right, so as you know, when I read these, one of the things that you have to do at home is figure out why I put one of these top 10 items in there. So figure out, ask yourself, why did Mr. Murray put number 6 in there. What relation does it have to Isabella? So remember, always be doing that. But without further ado, let's do the top 10 list. All right, reason number 10. She doesn't tolerate tolerance. Reason number 9. She'll put you on a boat to the new world. Reason number 8. Her face may be overvalued. Reason number 7. She's a bit too inquisitive. Reason number 6. Mother Mercy, she's not. Reason number 5. We're halfway there. Reason number 5. You'll always lose at chess. Reason number 4. It's her way or the hard way. Reason number 3. You better not fail those true or false tests. Reason number 2. She loves the movie Kissing Cousins.
Oh, we're kissing cousins. That's what makes it alright.
Number 1. The number 1 reason you do not want to be in Isabella's court is you constantly have to prove the earth is round. Alrighty, so there's just a few in there that you might not have known off the top of your heads. Let me give you a little bit. On the top 10 that said you might not win at chess, there's a little fun fact there. Queen Isabella was so powerful that the chessboard, the queen figure on the chessboard, was created during her reign. So that's just some food for thought there. Alrighty, well that is our top 10 list. We're going to be back in 1 minute with Don't Impress Me Much. We'll be right back.
Excuse me, I ordered fish.
That is fish. I think.
Why order fish when it ends up looking like a burger?
Hey, Fred? Is this fish?
Introducing new seafood salad from Taco Bell. Fresh vegetables, tender bay shrimp, and a delicious blend of whitefish and snow crab. A refreshing change from anything on a bun.
If it's square, it's fish. If it's round, it's a burger.
New seafood salad from Taco Bell. The cure for the common meal.
Welcome back to History Repeating. It is now time for Don't Impress Me Much.
That don't impress me much.
Okay, we'd like to welcome to the show once again intern Chris with his friends Mr. Bojangles and Eddie. How are you doing, intern Chris? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, so your mic right there.
Okay.
Now, Bobo's there to help you. All right. What we're going to be doing with Don't Impress Me Much. There are 6 facts that we're going to show on the screen right now. Two of those 6 facts are incorrect. And what you have to do is you have to show me the facts that are correct. I'm going to hand you the cards right now. So you're going to have a chance to look at the cards, and you will hand me back the card one at a time. At which point I will say that you are unbelievable, which means you're correct, or you don't impress me much, which means Eddie's very upset. So, take a look at the first card and read it out loud.
She united the Iberian Peninsula to defeat the Moors.
So, do you think that is true or false?
Let's go with true.
All right, hand me that card.
So only 2 are true, correct?
Only 2 are false.
Only 2 are false, okay. So
All right.
2 true and 2 false.
So let's see if Chris is correct.
You're unbelievable!
You are correct on that one. So there you have it. There you have it. You can look through the cards again. You need to hand back the 4 cards that are true. You have to hand back the 4 cards that are true.
Okay. You want me to read them?
Well, when you figure out you got a true one, hand it over.
Okay.
He's studying. Look at this. I think Bo has given up hope. Yep. Bo, don't do that on public TV, please. Thank you. You can see the smoke coming off of intern Chris's head that he thinks.
I don't even know who she is.
Oh, that's right. You weren't here for the monologue. It is Queen Isabella. of Spain.
Okay, that's better. Okay.
Should we have told him that? I don't think we should have told him that. I say no, we don't tell him that. All right, I need one now coming up, intern Chris.
Right. She started the Inquisition.
All right, she started the Inquisition. Let's go ahead and take a look and see if you're correct.
You're unbelievable!
You're unbelievable. You are correct. Okay, you have 2 of them are down. You need 2 more. 2 more.
Okay, she supported the Catholic Church.
All right, let's see. Let's take a look.
You're unbelievable!
You're unbelievable. That is correct. 1 more. You have 1 that is right, 2 that are wrong.
Okay, she supported religious tolerance.
All right, let's take a look.
That don't impress
Me much. All right, that is incorrect. She was no friend of tolerance. So here you have it now. If you get this right, you avoid the dunk because you have 1 strike. If you get it wrong, you don't
I think get dumped again. Oh no.
So which one? Read out the 2 that are left for the audience.
Okay, here's the 2 that are left. So she paid for Christopher Columbus's expedition to the New World.
Yep.
And she was a big defender of heresy.
So which one is true?
I'm going to go with Christopher Columbus.
All right, let's take a look.
You're unbelievable!
You're unbelievable! You've done it! You have now passed. So thank you so much, intern Chris, for coming on because, of course, she was not a defender of heresy. She started the Inquisition to stop heresy.
I'm just happy because I avoided being dunked this time.
You didn't. Now, see, what I didn't tell you was if you would have got them all right without a strike, I would have been dunked.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
So I'm sorry. Maybe next week. Alrighty, we'll be right back after these messages.
Just a reminder that every week in TV Guide, you'll find something brand new. Pick up your copy of TV Guide today. It's the best thing on television, and it's on sale now.
Welcome back to History Repeating. It's time for our new segment, Chillin' in the Crib. All right now we're going to be taking a look at Alhambra Palace. It was home to Isabel and Ferdinand. And while you're looking at this video, while we're checking out their crib, I want you to see if you can find the Islamic and the Renaissance influences. All right, let's take a look. Alrighty, well I hope you've enjoyed that. We will talk next week on those influences, but right now it is time for our musical guest. Take it away.